Hello, my name's Deborah Murdoch-Eaton. I live in Scholes and worship at St Philip's. My Advent reflection is about what does the Bible say about equality. I'm writing this during the early stages of the World Football Cup, not sure whether to watch or not, and admiring the bravery of those willing to openly stand up against inequality and discrimination. Disparities around socio-economic class, race, gender, or skin colour are prevalent within whatever society we might live in, and many of these are very close at home. The Bible has many passages that articulate a clear and coherent picture of equality, that every human is the same before God, and most importantly, that as his children we are asked to nurture and grow a heart embedded with the values and principles of equality. Some passages I find useful include, the first one is Galatians 3, verses 26 to 28. For you are all sons of God through faith in Christ Jesus. There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither slave nor free, there is neither male nor female, for you are all one in Jesus Christ. There's also Proverbs 22, verse 2. The rich and the poor have this in common. The Lord is the maker of them all. These verses particularly clearly articulate that all individuals are treated the same before God. Distinctions such as social class or wealth do not matter to God, and that it is easier for a poor individual to please him than a person with abundant financial resources. The next Bible passage is from Isaiah 40, verse 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted by him less than nothing and worthless. The equality of all the nations and collective people before God is epitomized in this Bible verse. No matter how powerful or rich a people or a nation might think it is, and that regardless of skin colour or vast economic resources, all nations will always be the same for God. And how about how we should act either as individuals or as a group? Acts 2, verses 44 to 45. Now all who believed were together and had all things in common, and sold their possessions and goods, and divided them among all as anybody had need. This passage describes a collaborative, vertical relationship between a community and God, and it describes one of the earliest Christian communities in the church in which their ambition was that of perfect equality. They had effectively and proactively acted to address disparity created by social class and gave to their fellow Christians in need completely voluntarily. And in Mark, we find the second greatest commandment. The first, of course, is to love your God. This one you might consider to be horizontal and deals with our individual relationships with our neighbour. Mark 12, verse 31. The second is this: you shall love your neighbour as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these. This passage speaks strongly to our responsibility to love and support all those wherever they are in their lives, whether this is someone in our church or our village community, or as a refugee or a local homeless person, or someone within a personal journey within themselves needing love, support, and someone just to walk alongside them. So these well-known Bible verses describe and challenge us in our journey towards being his disciples, and describe what the Christian's heart's stance on equality should be. It's about not inadvertently being drawn into a worldly tendency of treating those who are more affluent better than those who are less well off, whether that's financially or emotionally or any way you want to look at it. It's about aiming for equality both as an individual and as a church, to be proactively aware of and challenging the social distinctions that we as humans create. And my final thought as my Advent reflection, when I'm thinking about what would make the world a better place, more reflective of what Jesus asked of us, I'll be setting a New Year resolution around action. That is, that we have to do something and be proactive and not just grumble from the sidelines.